again. My name is Sunil. I've been in this SAP market for a long time, more than 15 years. I started as an ABAP, and then SAP BW, SAP HANA, SAP BPC, SAP APO, so many modules. So right now I work as a SAP solution architect. Okay, so I'm based out of US and Pacific time zone. And I'll be handling the course at the same time as per this particular demo session. All right. So the agenda for today's class, okay, the agenda for today's demo session is basically to understand what SAP is, understand overview of what OLTP and OLAP system, what is HANA, okay, where does HANA come into picture? Today you might have heard this word HANA a lot in the SAP market, right? If you guys go to Google and search for HANA, you'll get hundreds of links, right? And if your friends are working in this market, like SAP world, SAP IT world, so many of them may be working in the HANA. They may be working as HANA modeler, HANA consultant, BW and HANA. So the idea is to get an overview of what HANA is and the positions that are available in the market for HANA, okay, roles and responsibilities. And at the end, we are going to see what we're going to cover in this particular course, and see how we will be placed at the end of this course, to face the market and interviews. All right. At any point in time, if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hands or raise your voice and ask me questions. Do not hesitate to do that. All right. So with that introduction, let me directly go to SAP HANA. What SAP HANA is, or what SAP is. All right. What is SAP? What is SAP? Just one moment here. All right. SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Programming. Right? SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Programming. Okay. And one advice for you guys, whoever wants to enter in this world of SAP, is that never ever pronounce this as SAP. Okay. Never ever pronounce this as SAP. Always pronounce this as SAP. The reason is the SAP is not just one word. Like it says Systems, Application, and Programming. This is a combination of 3 different words. So it is not like a name Sunil or something like that, right? So in the market, in the SAP world, everyone recognizes this as SAP, not as SAP. So if you guys say SAP, then people will know that you are not an expert, or you are new to this particular world. All right. So for that purpose, never ever say SAP. Okay. Always say SAP. With that word of caution. All right. So what is SAP? SAP is one of the many products that came into the market quite some time back. Okay. For what we call ERP, which is nothing but Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay. SAP is a company that was established in 1990s. Okay, SAP is a company, German company. SAP AG is a German company that was established in 1990s, 1992 or 93. I don't remember the exact year. Which caters to enterprise resource planning. All right. What exactly does it mean? Enterprise resource planning. So in an enterprise, there are many departments. Obviously, if you guys know, obviously, most of you will have exposure to an organization. Okay. Suppose if I have a product organization. Okay, organization. In this organization, let's say this organization basically manufactures something. Okay. So in that case, this particular organization should have a manufacturing department, right? it should have its factory somewhere where it is manufacturing, packing the products, right? And then it will have sales, meaning the products that are manufactured will be sold, right? So there will be a sales department. And when there is sales, there has to be a finance department internally, okay? Finance department internally, which will take care of all the sales transactions. For example, Sunil, as Sunil, I place an order with Amazon. Let's assume that this organization is Amazon, okay? I place an order for a product with Amazon, okay? A sales order gets created, right? A sales order gets created, and then they find the product in their warehouses, okay? When they deliver the product, when they dispatch the product, they will create a delivery and inform me that your product is on the way, and then they will invoice me, right? Invoice me. Basically, they will bill me for the cost of the product, all right? So when they bill me, so I get an invoice. So all this is a part of sales transaction, okay? A sales transaction. So what is SAP? Where does SAP come into picture? Okay, before these ERP packages, enterprise resource planning packages, products came into market, all these activities were happening via paper, right? All these transactions were happening via paper, meaning I want to place an order with Amazon or any other organization for a product, then I have to call them or I have to send a sales order by paper. I need this particular product. There were no websites before the .com boom. There were no online transactions. They were not so famous. Okay, I would create an order by paper. Okay, when the product is shipped, they would inform us by phone or by another paper, right? Another piece of document. And when they create the invoice, when they are done, when they are creating the invoice, they would send another paper-based invoice. Meaning, so all the orders, invoices, deliveries, etc., were created in paper, right? So when these ERP packages come into picture, okay, when these ERP packages like SAP, there are so many ERP packages, okay, when they were brought into the market, when they were introduced into the market, this particular product would automate, okay, these processes, okay, automate the processes, okay. What is the advantage? What is the advantage, right? The advantage is basically saving of time, saving of paper, saving of money, saving of effort, right? Time, effort, money, and resources, everything will be used optimally, meaning, so nothing is going out on paper, everything is online. I place my order online, I get my invoice online in my mailbox, right? So all these things are happening online. So the systems or the programs or the systems that support these end-to-end activities, okay, sales, manufacturing, finance, whatever it could be, right? HR, human resources, okay, a system that supports the end-to-end activities of any process and optimizes it is called ERP package, ERP system. ERP system is a system that supports end-to-end activities in any for different processes in an organization. Please ignore my spelling, okay? So a system that supports end-to-end activities for different processes in an organization is called ERP system. All right. So, for example, different processes being, sales, manufacturing, finance, etc., etc. All right. SAP is one of the many ERP products in the market. Okay, and today this is the number one product in the market, in the ERP market. Meaning there are so many products, okay, out of all which PeopleSoft, it could be PeopleSoft, it could be Oracle Finance, or whatever it could be, Siebel CRM. All right, so there are so many different products, okay, and SAP is the number one product in terms of market capitalization. Okay, we should understand why SAP is number one. The reason being, there are several products in the market. Okay, majority of the products, okay, majority of the other ERP products are specialized. Specialized meaning some of them are for HR, some of them are for CRM, some of them are for finance. Okay, and a product which has a HR module, HR functionality, which automates HR functionality, doesn't have finance. Okay, if a client or as an organization wants to go and implement an ERP package, and it goes with, you know, a Siebel CRM, which is a specialized product, they do not have other products like sales, finance. Okay, in that case, they will have to go with some other product. You know, for example, Oracle Finance. Oracle is very famous for finance, but Oracle Finance does not have HR solution. Oracle does not have CRM solution. Everything will be different. Then if I have to go for sales, then I have to go for SAP or any other product. But SAP caters to all functional areas. All functional areas, meaning it has a product for sales, HR, CRM, finance. Okay, you name the product, procurement, for example. Okay, you name the product, you name the area, and SAP has a product for that. Okay, for this purpose, SAP is the number one product in the ERP market. Okay, so the interoperability of these products is smooth because all of them talk the same language. Meaning here, if I have different products, one for HR and one for CRM, or one for finance and one for sales, for example. All right. So let's say I have one product for sales, I have another product for finance. It is like I talking English and another product talking Spanish, right? They don't go well. They can't communicate with each other so smoothly. There should be a translator needed and all those things, right? But since sales, HR, CRM, finance, every functionality is provided by SAP, the interoperability is smooth, meaning all these products or all these components are speaking English or common language. So the communication or the interaction becomes very smooth. So for all these reasons that I mentioned, SAP is the global market leader. All right. So that's a brief introduction about SAP. All right. Now, what is OLTP? What is OLTP? Just one moment here. Just a moment, guys. Plugging power in my laptop. Just one moment. All right. So now we know what SAP is, what ERP packages are. Okay, where does SAP stand in the ERP market? Right. Now we should understand, is everything like what exactly are the terminologies in ERP market? What kind of systems exist in ERP market? So OLTP versus OLAP. Okay, so what is an OLTP system? What is an OLAP system? Why are there two different systems? Okay, so in traditional ERP way, okay, a system, there are two different types of systems, OLTP and OLAP. Two different types of systems. OLTP and OLAP. OLTP and OLAP. OLTP, as the name says, online transaction programming or protocol. Okay. Similarly, OLAP stands for online analytic programming or protocol. Okay. Online transaction programming, online analytic programming. So what is the difference between the two systems? Okay. So this particular system provides support for end-to-end activities. Okay, this was the purpose ERP packages were built. OLTP system, OLTP was the purpose for which the ERP packages were built, to provide end-to-end support for end-to-end activities of any functional area, sales, procurement, whatever it could be, which I explained just a moment before, right? So what was the purpose or requirement of an OLTP system, right? As the time progressed, right? For example, I started in 1990, and then by 1995 or 2000, my organization, which I spent over 5 to 10 years, right? So there is a huge volume of data that is sitting. Okay, after 5 years down the line, I want to analyze how have I done in this particular market? How have my products been selling in the market? Okay, so I have 10 different products. Which product is selling more? What is my history? Which product is selling more? Okay, what is my which product is selling less? So do I have to promote this particular product? Okay, these are the questions that come into somebody's head once the organization thrives in the market for some time, or vice versa. Okay, some organization survives in the market for some time. Then these are the type of questions as a top management would like to know. All right. So in order to process the information that is sitting in the server or in the database for 5 to 10 years, okay, if I start analyzing that data, the system becomes slow. The system becomes slow. For that purpose, SAP created, or ERP manufacturers, they created another system which is called OLAP system, which is used for analyzing the data. Okay, analyzing the data. All right. So what does it mean? Analyzing the data, and what is the end result? Making decisions. Okay. So meaning, okay, my 5 years worth of data tells me that the product B is not selling so very well compared to product A. Okay, I have to product market B. Okay, I have to market this particular, I have to give more and more advertisements. I have to push this into the market so that this product sells more. My sales improves. Okay, otherwise there is a competitor who has come up with a similar product which is similar to product B. So for that purpose, because of competition, the product B is selling less. So I have to improve the product, or I have to show to the customers that this product is better than the others, and that is how I can improve my product. Okay, so these are the kind of decisions that are derived based on analyzing the data. So OLAP system is a system which caters to analysis or analyzing the data and coming up with some decisions. Okay, strategies. Okay, so now that is OLTP system versus OLAP system. The difference between two different systems that are thriving in the market. Okay, so if you want to look at some real-time data, like I placed an order just now or yesterday, I want to look at the status of the order. That particular data is here in this system. Okay, and this system contains historical data. Okay, there are several such differences between the OLTP system and OLAP system, which we will explain during the actual training. All right, which we'll understand during the actual training. But Not all the systems will, all the ERP packages will have OLTP system and an OLAP system. SAP has catered to all sorts of products, I told you. So SAP has come up with OLTP system, which we call ECC, Enterprise Central Component, okay, which caters for all the OLTP transactions or all the day-to-day activities, like creation of sales order. It could be invoice, it could be delivery, whatever it is, or it could be a purchase order to procure something. All right. So all these activities are captured in a system called ECC, Enterprise Central Component. All right. Or it is also called R3 system. R3 system. Why is it called R3 system? I'll explain that in detail during the training. Okay. So ECC or R3 system is the OLTP system for SAP. Similarly, SAP has created BW system, SAP BW, which is nothing but, which is called SAP Business Warehouse. Okay, this is nothing but the OLAP system. Okay, this is the OLAP system of SAP. So the OLTP and OLAP systems are different. Okay, not all the products, all the ERP packages provide both the systems, but SAP provides both the systems. Okay, so SAP's OLTP system is called the ECC system, and SAP's OLAP system is called the BW system. All right. Now you can ask me, where is HANA coming into picture? Right? Where is HANA coming into picture? There's nothing like HANA that is coming into picture. You are talking about OLAP, OLAP, and OLTP. So where is HANA? What is HANA and where does it come into picture? All right. So that is what I am coming into next. Okay. What is SAP HANA? To understand this, to understand what is SAP HANA, we should understand any software package, how software packages work. Okay. Software packages will have one application server, right? One application server and a database. Database could be any database. Okay, an application server handles connections to handles the data between database and the server, and there will be a GUI, graphical user interface. Graphical user interface or GUI. Okay, so GUI, for your simple example, assume this is a browser, Google Chrome browser. Okay, browser, and you hit the web page yahoo.com or google.com, whatever it could be, right? So this GUI or front end is nothing but tool that sends requests for information, okay, to the application server. All right. So when you hit google.com, it goes to the application server. Okay. The contents of the google.com server are stored in a database, right? And the application server goes to the database, retrieves the data, and returns it to the browser. Returns the data to the browser. So this process of data retrieval is involved in every software system. Okay, so it involves application server and database. Okay, application server and a database, and a separate GUI. Sometimes the GUI can be included in the application server itself, whether it is here or it's a separate unit. They are always there. So these are the three important components of any software package. Okay, so where is HANA coming into picture? HANA is coming into picture here in the similar scenario. Okay, we have a GUI, we have an application server, okay, and then when it comes to the database, SAP HANA serves as a database. Okay, GUI, connects to SAP application server, and application server connects to HANA database, right? So if you replace any database with SAP HANA, that will be HANA database. But why would somebody do that? What is HANA? Why would somebody replace their existing database with HANA database? That is the important question, right? So HANA stands for High Performance Analytic Appliance. Okay, High Performance Analytic Appliance. So the HANA name, the name of HANA does not have even what is called database. For example, Oracle, if you say Oracle, then it is a database, right? DBA database. So Oracle is specific for database. But HANA is not a database, so how can you say that HANA can be used as a database? Okay, so the answer for that question is HANA is called in-memory database. HANA is an appliance. It is called in-memory database. In-memory database. Excuse me, guys. Okay, HANA is called the expansion of HANA is High Performance Analytic Appliance, and it is a in-memory database. So what is the purpose of in-memory database? What is the difference? What is the purpose of in-memory database? How does it help? Okay, let's simple analogy, simple example for you guys is SAP or web browser. Okay, let's say Google Chrome sends a request for www.yahoo.com. Very common scenario, right? From your PC. In your PC, you send a request from your Google Chrome browser to yahoo.com. So what does it do? Okay, let's say this is your PC. Okay, this is your PC, which has a hard drive, right? Which has a hard drive. Inside the PC, we have a hard disk drive, right? So how does this, when the browser gets this particular request, yahoo.com, what does it do? It sends out, there is something called a DNS server somewhere in the internet. I don't know where exactly. It is sitting, domain name server, DNS, okay, which will have the information about www.yahoo.com. Okay, so this particular request is sent to the DNS server sitting in the internet somewhere. We don't know where exactly that it is sitting. So the request travels all the way over the internet to this particular DNS server wherever this information is stored. Okay, and fetches that and returns the information back to the browser. That is how you see the information. Okay, and on the PC, along with hard disk drives, you have something called main memory or RAM, which is nothing but random access memory. Random access memory or main memory, right? So this random access memory, RAM, is close to the processor. It is close to the processor compared to hard disk drive. Okay, so instead of sending the request to the browser directly, it brings the data to the memory RAM and then sends the data from RAM to the browser. So what happens? Look at the travel time. First time, when it goes from browser to the DNS, comes into the RAM and pushes it here to the browser, right? Second time, whenever you are going to the yahoo.com domain, okay, the request goes to RAM. Checks whether this information is available in the RAM already. If it is available, then the request is the data is returned directly from the RAM. Okay, look at the travel time. Instead of going all the way to the DNS and coming back, the data retrieval becomes very fast because this particular RAM stays very close in proximity to the processor. So the data request and the retrieval becomes very, very fast. Okay, very, very fast. So in our SAP world, or any application world, this scenario which I told you is like the scenario I told you here. Okay, so a request, a transaction happens, okay, in the SAP application server, okay, it could be stored in the database, it could be stored in SAP HANA. So SAP HANA is like this random access memory. Analogy of HANA is random access memory. Okay, SAP HANA is nothing but like random access memory, RAM, which is very fast, which is associated closely with the processor. Okay, so for that purpose, SAP HANA, okay, SAP HANA is an in-memory database, okay, which can sit for any application server, which can act as a database to the any application server. Okay, so one more difference that you have to know here. Okay, any traditional database, hard disk drive, for example. Okay, a database like Oracle, which is like a hard disk drive, which is nothing but mechanical device. Hard disk drive is nothing but a mechanical device. Okay, this will have like mechanical head, which rotates at high speed to retrieve or store data. Okay, mechanical device. That is why if you look at the specifications for hard disk drives, it says number of whatever 1, 2, 3, 4 RPMs, which is nothing but rotations per minute. Okay, so still it is that means it is a mechanical device. All right. So what happens whenever you are writing some data into this particular hard disk drive or a database, or retrieving data from a database, the mechanical head has to rotate at this particular speed, meaning there is mechanical activity involved, right? There is mechanical activity involved. So this operation, let's say this is a traditional database, not a HANA database. Okay, so the sending of requests from application server to the database and retrieval of request from the database into the application server, which is input of request and output of data. Right? Input of request and output of data, which is called I/O operation. Together is called I/O operation for input-output operation, which stands for input-output operation. So this input-output operation, okay, it is very slow if it is done on a traditional database or hard drive. Okay, on a traditional database, the input-output operation is slow. It is very slow. Okay, whereas in HANA, if it is a traditional database, it is very slow, right? Whereas if I replace this with HANA, SAP HANA, right? SAP HANA is in-memory operation, in-memory database, meaning it does not have any mechanical devices. Okay, it does not have any mechanical devices. No mechanical devices. It is like a flash drive or pen drive that you guys use in a day-to-day activities. Like these flash drives and flash drives which are available for very inexpensive price, which comes in like 128 gigs, 256 gigs, etc. They are not mechanical devices. So even if you drop them, they will not break or they will not get corrupted. But if you drop a hard drive, it will get corrupted because the mechanical assembly of the mechanical devices goes bad, right? So that is why HANA, which is like a flash drive, which is main memory, that is why this is the best solution for the customers in today's world. Okay, it is main memory, so the operations are faster, right? And then it is not a mechanical devices, so there is the chances of the data getting corrupted are very less, right? And the input output operation becomes very fast because it is like a main memory which stays close to the processor. Are you guys with me so far? So that is SAP HANA. Okay, that is SAP HANA. SAP HANA stands for High Performance Analytic Appliance. Okay, it's an in-memory platform. It's a platform. It's not just a database, which I will explain in detail in the actual training course. Okay, so it's a in-memory data platform. It is a database plus much more than a database. Okay, it can be deployed on a on-premise, or in the cloud. Okay, all the deployment options we will discuss in detail in the training class. All right. So the next question is HANA the only in-memory product by SAP? No. Okay, there were so many other products even before HANA came into market. Okay, so if you guys are familiar with the SAP BW solution, which I told you, BW Accelerator was one of the first few products, one of the first few in-memory products that SAP came up with. Okay, when it was reporting, reporting of data, in order to speed the process of reporting, okay, in order to speed the process of reporting, SAP came up with BW Accelerator. For example, we have an SAP BW system, right, sitting on a traditional or Oracle database, sitting on an Oracle database. The data retrieval is very slow because of the volume of data and the type of complex reports that we have written, whatever it would be. So SAP introduced another piece of hardware called BW Accelerator. Okay, this is a main memory product. This scenario that I'm explaining is very similar to whatever is happening in this scenario, that analogy that I gave. Okay, so all the data that is coming into Oracle database, saved into Oracle database, will be pushed to BW Accelerator as well. Okay, so instead of sending data requests, report requests to the database, the system would send the request to BW Accelerator, okay, or the reports. Let's say we are writing a report. The report will send the request to the BW Accelerator instead of Oracle database, and then retrieve the data from here. Since this is an in-memory product, right, the reports were running very fast. So this is one of the earlier in-memory options, in-memory products by SAP. Okay, there is SAP Business Object Explorer Accelerated version, which is again another in-memory product. Okay, SAP NetWeaver Enterprise Search, CRM Customer Segmentation, Specific. Okay, SAP APO with Live Cache. Okay, and Business by Design. These are some of the in-memory products that SAP came up with even before coming out with HANA. Okay, so what is HANA? As I said, HANA is in-memory database or platform for data saving and analysis. Okay, so HANA can cater to any kind of system, like business BW system, SAP BOBJ, or any other SAP system. Okay, so in this market, SAP HANA deployment options are very huge. Any third-party application, sitting on HANA database. And this setup or this deployment option is called standalone deployment. Okay, standalone. Standalone deployment. Okay, the second option is SAP ECC system, which is OLTP system sitting on HANA database. Okay, SAP ECC system sitting on HANA database, which is called native HANA. Native HANA. Okay, oops, sorry. And then the third option is SAP BW system, which is our OLAP system sitting on SAP HANA. Right? And this kind of implementations or deployments are called BW on HANA system. BW on HANA system. Or implementation. BW on HANA implementation. Okay, so these are different implementation options or deployment options that you see in the market today. All right. So why SAP HANA is fast? There are so many reasons, like hardware improvements or hardware improvement and software side innovation. Basically, the manufacturing of hardware like CPUs or boards have improved so much that a lot of memory can sit in a small piece of chip. Okay, that is kind of hardware innovation and software side optimization. Conceptually or traditionally, we used to store everything by row, okay, which is called a row store, and now HANA stores everything by column, which is called a column store. We will understand the difference between a row store and column store in the actual training classes, but just to give you guys an idea, the HANA database or HANA appliance is fast not just because of software side optimization. It is because of improvement in hardware as well as software. That is the point that I want to drive from this particular slide. Okay, so why SAP HANA? Obviously, today's market is cutthroat market, meaning you have to be on top. You have to be on top of every information. You have to be fast. You have to be reliable, right? Because if you are not fast, if your competitor is fast, then you will lose some market to your competitors. Likewise, so you have to get the right information at the right time with a good performance, okay, so that you can compete in the market. Okay, that is the reason why SAP comes into picture. Okay, why SAP HANA? This is the classical IO bottleneck example that I told you. Okay, there is a processor, there is a main memory, and there is a hard disk drive. Okay, hard disk drive being a mechanical device, there is a IO bottleneck, what we call input-output bottleneck. I explained this to you in one of my slides here. Right? Here, input-output operation. So this particular IO is a big bottleneck when it comes to traditional databases. Okay, main memory performance bottleneck today is CPU waiting for data to be loaded into the main memory. Because main memory was expensive and it was limited, we were waiting for the limited area on main memory was the limitation or performance bottleneck. So what we are doing with HANA, we are eliminating this and we are increasing this main memory. Right? For that purpose, HANA is very fast. All right. And then why SAP HANA? There is another difference. Okay. Traditionally, what we used to, there is an application server, there is a database server or application layer and a database layer, right? Traditionally, what used to happen, traditional approach is, or classical approach is, the data would be brought into the application layer and calculation would be performed on the data, right? So the entire data has to come from the database. The calculation happens, goes back and sits in the database. Okay, huge amounts of data moves from database to application layer because the calculation is performed in the application layer. Okay, with HANA approach, they reverse this particular thinking or thought process or approach. What is the do? Instead of bringing the data from database into the application and performing the calculation, we push the calculation to the database layer. We push the calculation to the database layer and we restrict the movement of data between database layer and the application layer. Meaning, you push the calculation down, the calculation happens in the database layer, and the result goes into the application layer. You know, so the movement of data between the application layer and database layer tremendously reduces because of the change approach. Okay, there are so many advantages. Okay, this is like, you know, showing you multi-core parallel processing increases. Okay, parallel processing increases and performance reasons. Okay, all these are like, you know, software improvements and hardware improvements, because of which HANA is very fast. Right? So this slide gives you an example of what is the difference between a traditional database and a HANA database. Okay, there is sales representatives or sales operatives have a transaction called VA05 in SAP. Okay, so SAP, when sitting on a traditional database, okay, it extracted so many records in 12.6 14 minutes. In 14 minutes, it took 14 minutes to extract so many records from the traditional database. Okay, and from 14 seconds, when they replaced it with HANA, it came down to 12.671 seconds. See the difference? 14 minutes to 12 seconds. That is the kind of performance improvement that we are talking about by bringing in HANA. Okay, another example here, another transaction, okay, which would bring the data number of records, which is 7.5 minutes to 1.25 seconds. Okay, so that is the kind of performance improvement that we are talking about. Okay, so what are we going to learn? Before I end, so what are the roles and responsibilities of you guys in a project? What are the roles and responsibilities of, you know, HANA consultants or HANA modelers in a project? So as I showed you here, there are multiple different types of scenarios, implementation scenarios. Standalone implementation, native HANA or suite on HANA, and BW or HANA implementation. Depending upon the type of implementation, there are different type of roles. Okay, HANA modeler or an architect. Okay, so these kind of roles involve, okay, what is called replication of data and then information modeling and reporting. Okay, meaning bringing the data from different source systems into HANA database. Okay, creation of information models which can be used for reporting, which can be consumed for reporting, and creation of reports to deliver different types of reports, information like, you know, formatted reports, which can be used in decision making. Okay, and then there is a separate set of role called HANA administrators. Okay, which are like, you know, basis administrators who want to install HANA, look at the hardware requirements, or look at the performance of the HANA system, health of HANA system. So these roles these are called HANA administrators. Okay, HANA project managers. Just like any other project manager, a HANA project manager will manage the project with the knowledge of HANA. Without the knowledge of HANA, it is very difficult to manage a HANA project. Okay, last but not the least, BW and HANA developer or, you know, senior developer, whatever it could be. So in this case, you have the activities the responsibilities will be data provisioning, which is loading the data from source into SAP BW. Okay, migration of existing BW objects to HANA optimized objects, consuming BW models in HANA. We have something called models in BW. We can create models in HANA as well. We can consume BW models in HANA and vice versa. So those will be your responsibilities in this kind of projects, BW and HANA. Reporting basically creation of reports and database reports and providing information. All right. So having said that, what do we cover in this particular training course? Okay, in this training course, I'm going to go in detail about OLTP and OLAP system. Okay, explain in detail what is OLTP, what is OLAP, what is ECC, what is BW, and all those things. Because without that information in which is mapped to the SAP world, it will be difficult for you to understand HANA. Okay, so that is where I start from. All right, and then give an introduction of in-memory products. What is the difference between HANA and BW accelerator? Why do we need HANA when we have BW accelerator? Right? We give the differences. We have to understand all these things if you want to jump into the HANA market. And then we come into HANA. We learn HANA architecture, HANA landscape, HANA deployment methods, okay, and software components, right? Hardware components, high availability, lifecycle management, etc., etc. Different topics in HANA. Then HANA Studio, which is nothing but a tool that SAP has provided to look into the database directly to do information modeling. Okay, so this is a totally new feature even for the SAP world. Okay, even for the SAP world, this is a total new feature or new modeling option that SAP has provided. So we will understand all the details about SAP HANA Studio. All right, then we will understand about HANA Analytics, wherein we will learn different types of how we can do the reporting on HANA, right? For example, business objects web reporting. Business objects is the SAP's projected reporting tool. Okay, so we will understand how business objects interfaces with HANA and how can you write reports on business objects. Okay, and then data provisioning, meaning how to bring the data, different options to bring the data into SAP HANA database. Okay, smart data access, ETL based, trigger based approach, all these things we'll understand in detail. SLT is one of the data provisioning methods. Okay, I have given this topic as a separate topic here I cover it as a separate topic because it is extensively used in the market for real-time data replications. Okay, we will cover SLT in detail. Okay, then we will understand some of the topics, differential topics like migration of BW to HANA, BW to BW and HANA. What is BW on HANA? What is ODP? These are some of the other topics that I will cover in this particular training. So after this training, you will be able to model project yourself as a HANA modelers in the market. Okay, if you have knowledge on BW already, if you have worked on or experience on BW already, you will also be target for these type of jobs in the market. Okay, so those are the topics that I wanted to cover in this particular course, in this particular demo session. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask at this moment. Okay, so otherwise we will wrap up today's session. Any questions?
Thanks a lot, Sunil, for such a wonderful session. I have one question. Can you hear me?
Can you please speak up a little? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, go ahead.
So when it comes to data provisioning part, I guess the major three data provisioning parts that have been used is using SLT, using BODS, and using DXC. So you will be also covering like how to provision the data using BODS and DXC as well, right?
Let me tell you one. Data provisioning happens using SLT extensively, BODS, etc. DXC is a concept which is not used that extensively, but still we will cover the DXC part. We will see how the data is replicated using the DXC, but it will not be. We will go in detail in theory, but it is really difficult to show that as a demo, and it is not so widely used in the market. So we are going to touch upon that, but not going to go in detail. Definitely, we are going to give you a knowledge about DXC. Okay, because most of the part that is in DXC is handled by the administrators. There's nothing much to do for you and me as a developer. Okay.
Okay.
That's a good question. I hope I answered your question there.
Also, like
did I answer it?
HANA modeling part.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to HANA modeling part, we have
I'm having your voice is breaking up.
View,
correct.
Attribute view, right?
Yes.
So all this topics
we will go in
would
detail.
be covered, correct?
Yes, all the topics will be covered and in detail. Yes. There's some disturbance in between, but I could grasp your question.
So when it comes to HANA modeling part, we have calculation view, analytical view, attribute view. Okay.
That is absolutely right. That you're absolutely right, and that is what we call it as information models. Okay, we will cover all of them in details. So analytical view, attribute view, calculation view, both graphical method and script method.
The total duration of this course?
The total duration of this course, is on an average of up to 60 hours of theory plus, demonstration. Okay, that's average I'm saying. So it can go above or below depending upon the students how quickly they grasp the concepts. Now, if some of the students if majority of the students are from SAP background and they understand and they grasp whatever I'm saying, then it may go a little bit under 60 hours. Or if there are students who are very new, majority of the students are very new to the SAP world and they are having difficulty, then this may go over 60 hours. So it is on an average, I can say it's about 60 hours, okay? And it can go under or above depending upon the class, okay? Okay, there's a question on the chat board. Let me ask this. Let me take a look. The question is SAP HANA database. So why does the abbreviation say appliance? SAP HANA is a database. So why does it say appliance? A very good question. A very good question. As I told you before, I did not explain that in detail, which will be explained in detail in the class. Okay, in the actual classes, this topic will be explained in detail. SAP HANA is an appliance. It is not a database. Okay, it is a database. SAP HANA equal to IMDB, which is in-memory database, plus more. Plus more. In-memory database plus more. So what are these components? What are the additional components that are in this particular database which makes it a appliance? So in-memory database plus more equal to HANA, which is nothing but appliance. This is not just a database. In one of my slides here, I showed you the calculation is pushed to the database level, right? I told you this. The calculation get pushed to the database level, and those calculations are handled by these more tools or more components that have been added into HANA database. Okay, so that is the reason why HANA is called appliance, not a database. Okay, it is a database plus much more. So what are those components that we will learn in detail in the training class, in the regular classes? Okay, is it clear? Perfect. Any more questions, guys? The question that I'm getting on the chat window is, do we need to learn SAP BW or BOBJ before learning SAP HANA? Very good question. Very good question. My answer would be not absolutely necessary. Okay. SAP BW is a good to have. I showed you different roles and responsibilities or different types of projects that are in the market today, right? I think I showed you here. No, hold on. Roles and responsibilities. Okay, there are different set of. This is a different set of reports. Okay, the roles or the projects that are in the market, BW and HANA. If you want to, target for these, okay, you have to learn BW, without which obviously you cannot go. Okay, so in this kind of scenario, you have to learn BW. Otherwise, no. But business objects, I told you, reporting could be a part of both the roles. This business object comes in reporting, right? SAP business objects comes in reporting. It is good for you guys to have a little bit knowledge or understanding of reporting, but not absolutely necessary. Depends upon project to project. Many projects will have a separate reporting team altogether who are BOBJ consultants, right? They will handle reporting. But some projects will expect you to do some basic minimum reporting activities, like creation of universe, or moving the universes, or whatever it could be, creating a web report, for example. Okay, some minimal activities, not in detail, not exactly the hardcore business objects modeling or administrative activities. It is good to have, but do you want to learn before this training or after this training? That's a different thing. Like, you can go for it. I'll definitely give you an introduction or quite some in-depth knowledge about some of the reporting tools in this particular training. So with the information that I provide, you should be able to get a hold of, grasp sufficient information for you guys to do the basic reporting. Okay, but business objects is again a big training course by itself. So if you want to learn, you can learn that as well. If you want to completely learn reporting portions, you can do that as well. But it is good to have, not before the training, maybe after the training also. It's good to have so that your opportunities are wider. Okay. Perfect. So thank you everyone for attending this session. Okay, I appreciate all the time that you dedicated, and very interesting session. Okay, if you have any questions, please pass it on to our training coordinators, and they will pass it on to me, and we will definitely address all the questions that you have. If you want to have a one-on-one session on me also to discuss some of the topics that you could not discuss here, I'll be more than happy to have a session arranged with you guys. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a nice evening. I will see most of you guys in the actual training sessions. Okay. Bye, guys.